You know that feeling when you check your bank account and instead of closing the app in horror, you actually smile? It's that specific moment when you stop calculating whether you can afford a Starbucks latte or if buying groceries means eating ramen for the rest of the week. Most financial gurus on YouTube or TikTok will tell you that you need $1 million to be wealthy, or that 6 figures is the magic number. But they're missing a crucial piece of the puzzle. There is a much smaller milestone that completely transforms your relationship with money and the world around you. It's not $100,000, and it's not even $50,000. That magic number is $20,000. Today, we're going to break down why this specific amount rewires your brain, breaks the gravity of poverty, and why money starts sticking to you effortlessly after you hit it. Think about pushing a heavy boulder up a steep hill. You're straining, sweating, and making very little progress. You're constantly questioning if it's even possible to reach the top. That is the reality of living paycheck to paycheck in America. But once you reach the crest, something magical happens. The boulder starts moving on its own. In the world of finance, $20,000 is that crest. Before this point, you are fighting the gravity of bills, credit card interest, and rising rent. After this point, gravity starts working for you. It's not just about the math. Research shows that having even $2,000 in emergency savings increases your financial well-being by 21%. But when you push that buffer to $20,000, which covers 3 to 6 months of expenses for most Americans, you experience a total cognitive shift. You officially exit survival mode. What exactly is survival mode? In psychology, it's a state where your brain is hyper-focused on immediate threats. You take a job you hate because you can't afford to be picky. You tolerate a toxic boss because that rent in Austin or Brooklyn isn't going to pay itself. Every decision is filtered through fear and scarcity. It's like trying to plan a vacation while your house is on fire. But when you have $20,000 in the bank, the fire is out. Your brain finally has the bandwidth to think strategically. Instead of asking, how do I survive until next Friday? You start asking, how can I make this money grow? You move from playing defense to playing offense. This is where the real magic of compound interest, the stuff they didn't emphasize enough in high school, actually begins to take root. Let's look at the numbers. Suppose you're saving $1,000 a month with an 8% annual return. To get to your first $20,000, it takes about 19 months. That's nearly 2 years of discipline, skipped Vegas trips, and delayed gratification. It's hard, and most people quit here. But here's the part that will blow your mind. Your second $20,000 doesn't take another 19 months. It only takes about 17. Why? Because those first $20,000 are now working alongside you, generating their own returns. You're putting in the same effort, but the results are accelerating. By the time you reach a $400,000 portfolio, your next $20,000 appears in just 5 months, automatically. $20K is the point where your money stops being just a number on a screen and starts becoming a group of employees working for you 24/7. Many people believe the wealthy have access to secret hedge funds or elite investments. In reality, the secret is simply scale. If you invest $1,000 and get a 10% return, you made $100. It's nice, but it doesn't change your life. However, a 10% return on $20,000 is $2,000. That is a flight to Europe, or a few months of car insurance, or a significant upgrade to your home office. This is money you didn't have to trade your time for. At this stage, your strategy doesn't even need to be complex. You can use the same S&P 500 index funds from Vanguard or Fidelity that a beginner uses. The only difference is that scale transforms small percentage wins into real-world financial progress. But the most important change isn't in your brokerage account. It's in your identity and your daily habits.
Saving $20,000 isn't just about accumulating a stack of cash. It's about completely rebuilding your neural pathways. Unless you inherited the money, reaching this goal required serious discipline. You had to say no to impulsive Amazon buys, you tracked your cash flow, and you became someone who can delay gratification. These are the foundational traits of the wealthy. You prove to yourself that you control your money rather than letting it control you. After this, a $5 coffee isn't a source of guilt anymore because you know your global priorities are in order. You stop wasting mental energy on the micro decisions because you have a foundation that allows you to focus on macro moves. You've graduated from being a consumer to being an owner.
Let's talk about your career. In the US, we have a concept called FU money. This is an amount that allows you to walk away from a situation that no longer serves you. $20,000 is your first real dose of freedom. You are no longer a slave to your next paycheck. This changes your entire negotiation stance. You can ask for a raise with more confidence because the fear of being fired no longer paralyzes you. You can take a risk on a startup or take time off to learn a new high-value skill. Often, you don't even have to spend the money. The mere fact that it exists changes your posture, your eye contact, and your communication. People sense your lack of desperation, and ironically, that's when the best offers and promotions start coming your way. It's a positive feedback loop.
However, there is a dangerous trap that catches 90% of people. Once they hit that $20,000 mark, they feel the relief and immediately blow it on something stupid. They think, I've been so disciplined. I deserve that new Ford F-150 or a Tesla. This is a massive mistake. That $20,000 is not a reward for good behavior. It is the seed of your future empire. The average American spends more on cars over their lifetime than what is required for total financial independence. Between insurance, gas, and depreciation, it's $600 to $800 a month. Over 40 years, that's $400,000 of wealth destroyed. When you have savings, you start viewing purchases through the lens of opportunity cost. You realize that a $30,000 car actually costs you $200,000 of future freedom. This isn't about becoming a cheapskate who never enjoys life. It's about becoming intentional. When you have clear goals and understand the power of compound interest, it becomes much easier to distinguish between what you want right now and what you really want long term. Maybe a larger apartment is nice, but is it worth 5 extra years of working a 9-to-5? Perhaps an expensive hobby can be replaced by something equally fulfilling but less taxing on your capital. $20,000 gives you the power to choose. Time over things. In a culture built on hyper-consumption, the ability to stop and invest in your own freedom is a superpower. It ensures that your money is going toward things that actually matter to you, rather than just keeping up with the Joneses.
To wrap it up, $20,000 won't make you a millionaire tomorrow, but it will create the trampoline from which your wealth will launch. It is a psychological threshold where fear turns into opportunity and survival turns into strategy. Start building that foundation today. Max out your Roth IRA, Utilize your employer's 401k match and optimize your housing and transport, the two biggest expenses in the American budget. Your future self will thank you 5, 10, or 20 years from now when those first $20,000 have blossomed into the freedom to live life on your own terms. Money goes to money. It's not a conspiracy. It's just math and psychology. Take that first step today. Your journey to the top of the hill starts with the first dollar you decide to keep.